Hello. Hello, hello. It seems like we're live. Hello, everybody. Hey, everyone on stage. Hey, Mr. Paul and Mr. Doug Sunny. Hoping everyone is all right. Welcome, everybody, to the Walking Dead Empires community to a new town hall. Let's give it a minute while people come in. I see some people in Discord, Smiling Monster and Chuck. Hey, guys. Bentet. Who else is in here? Grok this. Of course, Daxani, I see him working there, and Will Bike, and the Knicks. I always get in trouble with the names in Discord. Pyronol, hey guys. Oh, I see Daxani is posting our link. Let's give it a few seconds. In the meantime, how's everyone on stage? Hello, hello. How's everyone on stage?
Yes. Hi, everyone.
Hey,
Hi.
Snap. Solar Mystic, Vigo
Hello.
Guts,
Hello, everybody.
Salsa
Hello.
Rock,
Hello.
Manta. Hey guys. I love the pictures that Paul chooses for these things. I think that this background is much more interesting than the one for Common Ground. So good job, man. Well, it's a different game. I like The Walking Dead as a franchise more than Townstar, if you can believe that. Let's
Easy.
see. Okay, I think that's enough for people to come in. So welcome everybody to our first The Walking Dead Empire's Town Hall with the kind of team. We'll be here to share what's going on with the game, answer questions, and present any exciting news, developments, roadmap. We are not set on a cadence yet. This is the first time just to introduce the current iteration of the team, so we can answer some questions. You can get to know who's taking care of this game now. And before we proceed, I would not be doing my job as an MC, and Paul would hit me over the head if I didn't say like and subscribe. So please go ahead and hit the button. And well, just a little of background of what's going on for people who are not in the know. You probably all are, but in case you know, the game was being developed by a team called Ember, who was purchased by Gala at some point. But the game is now being worked on by a new game development team in the Gala Chile studios or Gala Santiago studios here in Chile. Um, the reason behind that, I can't go into much detail. You may have noticed that the game was a little bit behind schedule in some regards. Um, that's one of the reasons we're here to try and optimize and improve delivering features and content. Plus, we are here, we're kind of experts in live ops. So we're trying to bring that expertise over to this game to try to maintain it going on, going forward as much as possible. Um, so without going into more details about that, and whether you guys understand that we can't answer questions about specifics, that's kind of the main reason. We have some expertise here that Gala thought that it would be good to include in these and other projects in the company. And there were some problems that needed solving from previous iteration. I can tell you though that I'm presenting the new team, but we still have a few people from Ember team that are still aiding the transition, even though the main transition kind of ended. We still have a few people from that team that are helping out move things forward. Let's see if there are any things there in Discord. I see Croc is saying playing CW while listening. Thank you, man. I really appreciate that. Today is Thursday, which means that the competition will end tomorrow for CW. I'm hoping you're having a good time. And let's see. We should move on probably to the current team, the team. If you guys are okay with that. So first off, we have. Let me see if I can get the names straight. I always get confused with the nicknames. So Solar Mystic, is that correct? Solar Mystic.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, so Solar Mystic is the team lead for this project. So she has over 12 years of experience working in animation and video game companies. She was producer at Punk Robot, so she's part of the Academy Award-winning team for Bear Story, um, which won the Academy Award a couple of years back. But also producing short films, TV series, and commercial spots. She produced over 10 games for Osmo and other companies in their main product lines, including some award-winning video games. So, hey, Sora Mystic, anything you want to add so that people get to know you a little bit better?
Yeah, sure. Hi, everyone. I would like to say that I'm thrilled to be involved in this project because I used to be I'm not used to. I'm a big fan for the game. So yeah, I'm very excited to be working on The Walking Dead.
Okay, so thank you, Solar Mystic. So Solar Mystic it's basically taking care of the whole team. I've been put in a position more of the studio head, overseeing different projects. So specifically for The Walking Dead, Solar Mystic is the boss, and she's great at it. So I'm really looking forward to see how development goes. Let's see. Next up, we have Saucerlock. Hey, Saucerlock, how are you? So Saucerlock is a programmer. He's the front-end lead programmer with over 15 years of game experience. He has worked on multiple projects such as Fallout Shelter. I remember you were like one of the main engineers in Fallout Shelter, Rock of Ages 3, Westworld, Harry Potter, Howard's Legacy, and even the currently unreleased Bioshock 4, among other games. So Saucerlock has a ton of front-end experience that he's bringing to the table. Um, was I able to say Bioshock 4 or was that a secret?
No, it's
It's fine. Okay, cool. Anything you want to say to the people in Discord?
uh, hey, hello. Really happy to be into the team. I have been fan of The Walking Dead since its inception, and I am excited to about what lies ahead for the pay.
Okay, so Saucerlug is kind of a genius programmer. He has his temper, but he's an amazing guy and a really good engineer. So I'm hoping that his experience in both mobile casual, and console gaming will prove its worth here in The Walking Dead. Let's see if there's any comments there. Grok, this saying, Musashi level folks are all right in my book. Oh, thank you, man. I'm hoping that we're up to what you're expecting. Everyone in this team and other teams are pretty good, uh, and we're hoping to show that to you guys. Let's see. After that, we have Chiribug. So Chiribug is the backend lead. Chiribug has been working in different areas of gaming since 2006. Started as QA on games like Assault Heroes 2, then eventually moved to development, where he did many indie games and prototypes, eventually landing a job in the Westworld game, which was a variation of the Fallout Shelter game. There he ended finding out an opportunity on live ops in Covet Fashion. Covet Fashion is a huge game in live ops and for aim at a different type of target audience, but it's hugely successful. And lately, he has been involved in projects that had to do with blockchain and decentralized services. So, Chiribak, you want to say hello?
Hey, everybody. Thank you for having me. I'm looking forward to fixing all the bugs that I can, or hopefully not introducing anymore. And I'm really looking forward to working with this community to create a great product.
Awesome. I don't know if you could hear it, but I had a screaming cat right beside me. She was trying to get out, so sorry about that. Yeah, smiling monster figured it out. Yeah, so I have four cats, and one of them is like she's fucking crazy. So she needed to get out of the room. So let's see. Who's up next? Thank you, Chiribug. We have Isma. So Isma, you probably know if you played Common Ground World. He came in, what, like 6-7 months ago already, Isma.
Yeah, sort of like that.
Yeah, like 6 or 7 months ago, he came in with a new art team, Chilean art team, and he started improving the output from the art team in Common Ground. I think that people in that game really like it, like really like the improvements that were done, both to the quality and the cadence of the delivery. So that's something that we needed here. And Isma agreed to come to The Walking Dead to lead the art team. His art team includes 3 other amazing artists who are not here, but they're all very talented. We can discuss them later if you guys want. And so Isma has 14 years of experience, 11 as art director. Oh, hello. 11 as art director. He's worked on video games like Star Wars Galactic Defense, Hellfire the Summoning, Dungeons and Dragons Arena of War, Pocket Forest, Viking Hunters, and games for teaching like Freedom Adventure, which is a winning award-winning game, among others. And of course, here he's been working in Common Ground World, helping lead, as I said before, the development of all the assets from inception to being in the game, plus marketing. So, hey, is there anything you want to say?
Yeah, I mean, thank you, Musashi, for that introduction. That was very kind of you. Yeah, we have been in Gala in Common Ground World helping out, and I'm gonna be honest. When they tell me, I mean, it was a possibility of coming here, I was super thrilled, really excited. I love The Walking Dead, and the game already looks amazing. So I'm just looking forward on what we can build together as a content, locations, characters, workers, new features, whatever comes. I think it's gonna be super exciting. So yeah, I'm super happy to be here. So take it away, Musashi.
Yeah, I mean, we've been discussed, I think yesterday, no, the day before, because yesterday was a holiday in most of the world. We were discussing new locations, new areas,
Yep.
hopefully having more areas, more variety of areas for dungeons or other event types. So I'm personally really looking forward to see how that looks, because I really like how the game looks, but I do find it kind of like very similar from zone to zone. So I'm hoping that we can bring some variety to that if possible. And let me check some of the comments here in Discord. I see Smiling Monster saying, so are some of the devs working on both CW and The Walking Dead, or are they have transition over? Okay, so Isma in particular has transitioned over to this team, and he was replaced by another art director in CW, right? You guys probably didn't even notice because CW works really well. Like it's basically a well-oiled machine, as we say in live ops. So we took him out. They have a transition of 2 weeks, and the new art director, Leo, he's doing great, following that through. So Isma is fully devoted to The Walking Dead. Everyone in this call, plus the people who are not here, are fully devoted to The Walking Dead. And the Miranda's team is a completely separate team that we'll introduce next week. There is absolutely no overlap except for me, right, the studio head. And there's another person who's like the tech lead for the studio, who's also overseeing like all the projects. But other than that, like those 2 people, including myself, everyone is exclusively assigned to one of the projects. Let's see. So after Isma, we have a Bigo Guts. So Bigo Guts is a product manager and data analyst. He was product manager for games like NBA and NFL Clash and AEW Figure Fighters. So he's a product and market analyst with hardcore modeling capabilities, KPI tracking, game design, and economy design experiences. So he's like the full package, but mostly devoted to economy, product management, and like that hardcore math modeling. So, and also when I told him that we wanted him in the team, he sent me pictures. I know that this is about the Walking Dead TV series and not about the comic book, but he did send me pictures with stacks and stacks of the Walking Dead comic book.
Yeah.
He was so happy. So Vigo, guys, why don't you say a few words?
Yeah, thank you, Musashi, for the introduction. Well, guys, Hello, everybody. I'm very, very pleased to be part of this team and to be working on this game for a franchise that I love since I got into the Walking Dead universe. As Musashi said, I'm a huge fan of the comic books, the TV show, the spin-offs, and of course, the zombie culture. Um, and I also play video games since I have memories even before I started walking as a baby. So I promise that I will do my best to help you to give you all the best experience to give you that playing a Walking Dead game ever. That's my promise, guys. Thank you.
Okay, awesome. I think that that's well, one of the things that the Ember team lacked, and we discussed it with them, before things happened, was that they needed a product manager, right? So that's what Big Ocat's role will be here. That it's super needed for these kind of games. Let's see. Then we have our game designer, Ramsa. Ramsa, I love that nickname because that's from Final Fantasy Tactics, which is one of my favorite games. So Ramsa has over 12 years of experience in console and mobile games, including stints as level designer, lead game designer, and live ops designer, and worked with IPs such as Westworld, DC, Power Rangers, Snoopy, and SpongeBob. That's a big change, from Westworld to SpongeBob, but I love it. Specialized in live ops running games such as DC Legends, Power Rangers, Marvel Legends, and AEW Figure Fighters. So, hey, Ramsa, anything you want to say?
Yes, hello. I'm happy to be here working with you and working for the community. So I hope to bring a lot of my expertise into the table to improve the things that already are working into the game, and of course to take the game to new levels with much with more content, more features, and of course taking a look and balancing the game, the overall of the game. So thank you for having me here. And of course, as the rest of the team, I'm a big fan of the Walking Dead show. So thanks everyone to be here.
Hey, welcome, man. So that's the main lead theme. Oh, I'm missing someone, of course. That's someone very important, and that's Dak Sunny. So Dak Sunny is community manager of the Walking Dead Empires, another game for the last few years, since 2022, being the interface between the Tweety team and the community. 10 years of corporate life and several more years of experience in Web3 world in other projects and chains. So Dak Sunny, thank you so much for being part of the team. You are the main connection between the community and the team. So they already know you, but if you want to say some words, please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, and happy to be here helping the new team. Of course, like be in contact with all the community, and also count of me. This is again to the community to be the interface between you all and the team, and maybe even keep a little bit of the part of the continuity of part of the info and everything that was said in the past, and together with what we're gonna do in the future. So happy to be here, happy to help.
Awesome. Thank you so much for being here. Well, the person that you don't see here on the screen, that's Paul. He manages all the streams and he's awesome. So thank you, Paul, once again, for everything you do. And apart from that, what the hell? Okay, that's Paul marking his territory. Got it. So apart from that, we have a couple more engineers in the team. We have a concept artist, 2D artist, and a concept artist, 3D artist, and 3D animator already. So we have a good chunk of team ready to go. We still need to staff up a little bit more, but here are the leads that will be taking care of the different parts of the project. So let's see if there's something else in Discord before moving on. I see. Let's see. Smiley Monster saying so. Lots of mobile gaming experts. Well, remember that Socialog also worked in hardcore console, like big name console games, like the latest Harry Potter game, and the unreleased or yet unreleased Bioshock 4. So we have a mix, but we're hoping that the mobile experience will help take the live ops portion of this game further, And also, I know the game was, the Ember team was working on a mobile version at some point. We want to, of course, take a look at that, right? Because mobile is a big space for tons of potential, more a bigger target audience. I see Pyronal saying, please reset the in-game event so we can earn some scrap rewards again. We'll take a look at that. We're hoping not to have to reset things manually in the future. That's something that kind of part of the things that we do is try to optimize those kind of processes. But we'll take a look. Got Hispano, when merging heroes, we'll discuss that in a bit. Grok is saying, Bigo Guts sounds like Javier Bardem. I would take that as a compliment, man. What do you think, Bigo Guts?
Thank you.
Let's see. Last Gaming saying, can we get WASD for movement? I think that sounds reasonable. I don't know why we don't have that. Because we do click to move. We'll figure it out. Part of the assessment that we need to do in that regard is anything that needs to change, right? In terms of the simulation and the game itself. Right now, we've looked at bigger features, but having direct control could be interesting to assess. Let's see. Jimmy's saying, what is the biggest challenge and biggest opportunity with this transition to the new studio? And I'm sorry, I was reading that and then I saw the Javier Bardem picture and I just had to prevent myself from laughing. Let's see, Jimmy. The biggest challenge, I would say that the Ember team was mostly professional and gracious about what happened. We're taking it as an opportunity for the Santiago studio, although we would have preferred to work together at some point. And I think that part of the challenge is taking a hot potato. It's like we did 2 hardcore weeks of meetings and discussions and documentation with the Ember team to try to figure out what they knew. We determined that a few people should stay, and they wanted to stay for a bit longer to ease that transition. So I think that the biggest challenge is the potential knowledge gap, though I think that we have covered most of it with the meetings that we had with that team and the documentation that we built. Apart from that, I would say that the biggest opportunity in my mind is that the game looks very finished. It is very professionally made, but it's lacking a ton of basic live ops considerations, right? And since the team here has a lot of experience in live ops and mobile, we think that we can add those things on top of a well-built game, right? To get the game further. Hopefully, bring it to a bigger audience, have more people playing, have constant events, interesting content coming out every so often, and just having a very alive game. So I think that would be my answer, Jimmy. I hope that answers your question. Let's see. Jimmy, click to move was supposed to let us move more easily to mobile. Yes, that makes sense. And mobile is still a consideration. Let's see. Chuck is saying, what's the plan for the next 30 days? Wally Musashi cat. Actually, my cat is missing one eye. Her name is Odin, so I think she would look perfect as a walker cat. The plan for the next 30 days, we're basically building a roadmap. I can tell you a little bit about that in a second. And let's see my papers. Okay, so actually that brings me to my next point, which is next steps, right? So next steps. We're building, this is maybe a little boring to you guys, but we're building a roadmap, which, that part is interesting to you, but also we need to do things like revenue projections, right? And, do all of the stuff that maybe was not there before, for clarity internally and externally, and on how the game will develop forward. right? So my personal plan, and I discussed this with Solar Mystic and other people in the team. I think that this game needs just a few things. It needs a better first-time user experience, and it needs a better event system to do live ops and keep things interesting. The Ember team was working on dungeons. That's similar to what a good event system should be, but still not necessarily enough. So we're assessing that. And apart from that, there's two main things I would say that mobile is a big one for me in particular. I know that from for all of you or most of you, it's big too. Um, so, Solar Mystic, anything you want to discuss here regarding next steps?
Yes, sure. Yeah, because in the next 30 days we will doing a lot of work, but mainly in our next big chunk of work will be addressing some issues that we find out in our transition and assessment phase. Like, so yeah, that's the main thing. And one big focus, as you said before, is to make a smooth live ops schedule. And for that reason, we are creating some new tools, and we are also adjusting some systems in order to support it. And regarding the issues that we are going to be focusing, sorry, is to remove all the hard code element that we found in our code. That way we can make our code more flexible, and also we will be working faster.
Okay,
And
so sorry to interrupt. So basically, in our code assessment, we found a bunch of hard coded stuff, right?
yes,
Right. So for everyone out there who may not know what that means, usually when you have a game, you have hard coded stuff, which means that those parameters are in the code. And the proper way to do it is to have those parameters in data, what we call data, right? So data is usually separate from the code and it's fed into the client, right? For example, in CW, we can do, we can quickly change data and change the timers of the events, right? So the timer of the events are not hard coded, right? They're in data. And in this case, we found sadly a bunch of stuff that are hard coded and we need to fix before we can move ahead. Is that a good assessment?
yes, that's a very good assessment.
Okay, please go ahead.
So about dungeons, we will also be working on dungeons, and Branza is going to talk about that.
Yes, as Solar Mystic said, we are going to work on dungeons, specifically, well, how they are going to spawn into the world, the different difficulties for the dungeons, and especially how we are going to tie the dungeons content with the event systems that we want to improve. So, of course, wait for exciting things to do in the dungeons, different objectives that you can accomplish, and of course, good rewards and specific rewards for the dungeons that you can only can get in from there. And the second part, as I said, we want to improve the event system. So we have a different type of events that spawn through the map, the different zones with the different objectives, and of course tie that with the dungeons and with the right content for the game. So expect to have a more different type of workers, and also some type of bosses and enemies that are not workers, that are going to be the humans that we have. And of course, we want to start working on the live ops content delivery, that we are trying to keep the game alive through time. So we're going to include the new map, so increase the world by adding more contents, more biomes, dungeons, to have more more different, like things to do in the world, and some environment changes into these new counties, adding new heroes and enemies. The enemies, as I say, can be workers and humans. More events that are going to be tied to the cadence of the game, and of course keep an eye on the things that we need to balance into the game, such as economy, that right now BioGuts are going to talk about it. Bigo, good. Are you there?
Bigo Guts, are you there?
Yeah. Well, in terms of the game economy, we've been working a general game economy balance review to assess the necessity of making different tunings and rebalances of different parameters in order to avoid issues like hyperinflation of scrap, overabundance of the different resources, economic imbalances between players, and obsolescence of resources, everything like that. This review is more based on analytics insights than just guts or feelings. So any change or adjustment would be robust and justified for the actual player's experience. We'll be also studying to deliver the tokenomics plan and everything related to the debt coin, but it's still under review, so we can't mention anything about this yet.
Now it's back to you, Musashi.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, I was uploading a picture of my screaming zombie cat in Discord. You can see it there. Let's check some of the questions since last time. When are you going to add more counties? So that's part of the content cadence that we need to figure out. Dungeons is more important. So if we talk about content that we need to create, we need to create backgrounds and zones for dungeons and events, right? And counties. And if you think about both, I think that the biggest priority is the first. Right? We need to have backgrounds and zones delivered relatively soon for the dungeon system and the event types. But counties are not, outside of that realm. I'm hoping that we can make a crossover between the two. What I mean by that, for example, we can say, well, the northern part of the state, where the game takes place, can get colder, right, and can get snowy. So why don't we set up some forest, the snowy forests, right, for the competition events and dungeons that we can reuse later for the counties, right? So that's kind of the assessment that we're doing. I would think that the dungeons is more important than counties right now. Let's see. Luz is saying combat needs a lot of work, in my opinion. The special abilities seem out of place in the Walking Dead. So you're saying that we should remove special abilities? Doc Sunny, have we gathered some data or documentation from players about what they see as issues with the game right now? We did that for Miranda's last week, I think. So maybe it could be interesting to see what people think about combat. Or what do they think combat is missing or has, extra of? Because in this particular case, Luz, it seems like you don't want special abilities because of lore reasons.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. We can start collecting a lot of feedback. People want to talk a lot about PvP and other things related to combat. So I'm gonna open later a form so everyone can send feedbacks, and I'll make sure that every line of feedback is going to be sent directly to the team. So rest assured that people are gonna read that and then use this information to improve the game.
Yeah, I know from talking to the Ember team that the PvP combat was particularly problematic. So that's something that we probably want to address before having events, right? Because I'm hoping that one of the event types that we do does include PvP, right? I think that should be a given at some point. Let's see. Pyron saying, can the alliance size also be increased a bit? 20 fields feel pretty fast. I think that we can probably figure out a way to improve the alliances, the amount of spots, but that's something that Ramsa will have to determine with bigger bets. Let's see. Larangeda says, I doesn't like teleport in survival games. Furthermore, teleportation encourages members of the same alliance to stay very far away from each other. At least teleportation to HQs other than your own should be removed. I think that that's something that the Ember team implemented more as a hack than an actual game design tenet. I don't think they meant that to be there forever. It just was there in the meantime. So they were thinking about changing that, and I think that we have all those notes to follow through with that request. I do agree that teleportation right now seems very OP. Let's see. Hi Gala. Pomku 1998 say hi Gala. Hey man. Let's see. I see another zombie cat. Uh, bu- bu- bu. I see some reactions to my cat. That's one of four cats, by the way. She was almost blind when we got her. We managed to save one eye, and we thought it was a boy. That's why it's called Odin, even though it's a girl. Let's see. Willbake. To me, PvP is not a thing I even care about. Okay, that's fair. I think it's something important that we have learned in live ops is that you need to cater to different types of users, right? So, for example, if you have if you have a PvP event and you have a Ravos event, those are you know directly in opposition to each other. Like the Ravos is people getting together to kill a big monster, and PvP is everyone for themselves and killing each other, right? And some people like one, some people like the other style, and some people like both, and some people like neither, right? They want something else. So I think that if we can get a PvP type event into the game and a Ravos event type of event into the game, and have a schedule where even if you say, well, this week I don't want to play the event because it's PvP, next week it will be a Raver, so that's my thing, right? Or maybe it's half and half, right? So Monday through Wednesday is one type of event and then another one. Let's see. Chuck is saying, just as Musashi DM Lucifer. Why? Who's Lucifer? What am I missing there? I sadly I still don't know the particulars about who's who in the community.
Yeah, Lucifer play a lot, and he's one of the first that reach HQ level 100 in two different bases. So he's a heavy player.
That's hardcore. Okay. Let's see. Jimmy Casanova, are we still looking to have the 10 counties on launch of the game? I don't think so. We have basically one county, 1 out of 9, one out of 10. So 9 to go. The Ember team did not have enough work prepared for, I think, even a second county at this point. So I'm guessing that counties is something that we'll be adding in a schedule over time after some type of official launch, right? I wouldn't call the game launch until we had some basic stuff, like as I said before, a first-time user experience and event types ready to go. And I think that in parallel, usually what we've done in other games is we run live ops, and in parallel we're preparing bigger chunks of content to be released, like for example counties would be. Let's see. Wilbeck say, I don't go to BB because I will just get killed by a high-level player in seconds. I would say get good, but that would be mean, man. That would be mean. No, I mean we need to fix some of the mechanics there. Let's see what else. Tuxani is there. I like the rotation being OP. I know different types of players have different things they like. I see a bunch of comments on what combat needs or doesn't need. I think that's pretty good. We can focus on getting that from you guys who have been basically playtesting the game, and we can use that for further changing how the game works. Any immediate timeline when we might see a new build or something else like that? Sorry, not yet. Like we finished a hardcore transition time. Now we're preparing our high level roadmap. And I'm hoping that we can release some things relatively soon. But I cannot commit to that because we have the priority of determining what we will do, right? We can't just start doing without thinking. It would be nice if each different hero actually had pretty different powers and skills. Right now, all heroes are basically the same. There is no need to buy a second character. Hey, if you want differentiation, I think that the merch mechanic that you guys discussed, is one of the main things to do that. You know, as you merge your hero and get it to higher level, they can get further differentiated from the rest, right? So, I think that's pretty cool. I see a bunch of other comments. Will Beck saying, "I love the get good comment. Funny, it's true. I have no excuse. My hero is also." I'm just joking. I personally am not good at PvP games, and at action games. But I think that part of it is you can either get better at the hardcore elements of it, or you can increase the stats of your characters to compete, right? Or you can do both, and then you can be the king, right? Okay, let's see what else we have in our thing. We had some questions from the forum that I have completely ignored by going into Discord. Um, Doug, do we want to go through that, or have I answered some of them? Doug Sunny?
I was muted. I was talking here to myself. I was muted. Okay. And there are a few questions even about things that are talking in the past, like in the last 2 months. For example, the premium subscription or something like that, or people asking about the merging of the heroes. So we do have a lot of different things, but I think a lot of them are related to the roadmap also. So
Okay, anything we can answer right now? Let's see. I see questions about box. When will box integration will be there? Well, the good thing is that I'm in charge of the box team, right? Unlike the Walking Dead. So for the Walking Dead, we have Solar Mystic, and she's going to be directly in charge of the team. I'm directly in charge of the box team. So I think that one of the good things that come out of having some of these games under the Santiago Studio umbrella is that we can directly discuss the things that were promised and other interaction between games directly, right? So I've actually had some of the people from CW help out the box team in a couple of things that are coming for Mayhem, and having that conversation of, hey, remember that we saw the Walking Dead box, and they need to do something in the Walking Dead game. Well, let's see how we can actually make that work, because truth be told, I don't think that was discussed at all between the Ember team and the box team. So we'll be basically starting those conversations. What else? I see merging heroes. So Ramsa, this is part of your and mine expertise. You want to talk about merging heroes?
Yeah, sure. Merging heroes is a feature that we are reviewing right now. We want to address your concerns about being fair at the moment of merging heroes, and what we are going to give to the final result, if we want to upgrade their stats or give the rarity, and how the stack system is going to work. You can expect more details about the merging feature in the upcoming weeks. So we are going to keep you updated with that specifics of the feature. But yes, we want to give you reasons to collect more heroes of the same type, so you can use your duplicates in order to get an important buff into the game. So that's the basics for the system.
Right. Yeah. So merging mechanics, what we call gacha and fusion before, are basically part of the things that we've been doing for years and years. So when I heard that the Ember team wanted to have merge mechanics, I thought that was great. I mean, it falls directly into our line of expertise. I see some questions about Deadcoin. Do we have anything that we can say about tokenomics in Deadcoin, Ramsa or Bigovets?
We're currently studying it, so we want to like have any review or analysis yet. We are still having that under review. So, but as soon as we have anything that we could share, we will make it.
Yeah, I know that the Ember team minted some keys that had to do with Deadcoin. I think that's something that we definitely want to include in our first pass. I said before, first time user experience and dungeon/events. We should probably have Deadcoin and tokenomics there too. Oh, I just realized that Paul changed my avatar to my cat's avatar. So thank you for that, man. That's really funny. So let's see if there are other questions. Go ahead.
A few of the players also are asking in the last weeks about maybe requiring different like special resource, like new ones to upgrade the HQ. Just because in the last trash from level 70 to 100, they do need like a lot of basic resource. So
yeah, I think that's fair. I mean, that's basically the basis of any crafting system, right? So I'm hoping that also as we release new counties, we can also include new crafts, new raw materials, new things to build that have to do with those new biomes and new counties. A little bit like how Common Ground does it, but maybe not there it's kind of free. In Common Ground we do like, hey, this week we're introducing, I don't know, Korean restaurants, right? So we include kimchi as a craft, and there's no real logic behind it more than we want to do funny, interesting stuff. But here we're tethered um, to the state, right, in which the game develops. So I'm hoping that we can have a little variation, like swamps and like snowy stuff, maybe some other types of biomes, and make it more interesting in the future. And also use the opportunity to include new crafts that can go into the higher level HQ stuff. Let's see.
There's a new question there for Wilbeck that people are always curious about. Any possibility of new heroes in the near future, in the next months?
New heroes, I think that's a possibility. I would really like to have more. I know that actually there are a few that have been worked on, so it's possible that we can release some of them. But we need to confirm with AMC, right? Because we need to work closely with AMC about what we introduce into the game. I'm hoping to ask them about, new series in the universe of The Walking Dead, because they have, The Ones Who Live, I think, and they have some other series. So if we can introduce some new characters, I think that would be really cool. Let's see. I see Jimmy saying, replying to Musashi, appreciate that the content isn't there for the 10 counties on launch, but our tricky thing will be that a large number of the dead claims NFTs have been sold to the community, and these were supposed to allow landowners to earn based on activity taking place on your land plots. The initial county does not have enough land plots to cater for all land that was sold. So this is something that we know, and we discussed it with the Ember team, and they basically said that they had no good answer to that, and because initially I think each zone was to be assigned to each deed, right? But then when they basically did not continue doing the other counties, that kind of got a little bit lost. And they were thinking about doing something a little bit more abstract, like your land deed is not necessarily one zone or the other. I would love to have, one zone equals one land NFT. But the reality is that we don't have the counties, right? The counties are not there yet. We have some loose assets, some ideas, but there's only one single county right now in the game. And producing counties takes time, right? It's a lot of assets and level design and stuff like that. So we need to make a decision, right? Either as a team or as a team plus a community, is how do we want the lands to act in this game? Do we want to wait for more counties to come in, or should we change how that system should work, right? So we are discussing it internally, and also with the Ember team members that are still here, and trying to figure it out. If you have any suggestions, those are all appreciated. Let's see. I think deed claims should be very important for the roadmap, and teams to consider how that will be implemented. Just first of all, should we consider a key part? Yes, definitely. So land deeds are very important in this game, and also in Miranda's. Those also have like some sort of deed. So yeah, let's see. Smiling monster, no more sales until everything is promised is in game or in the works. If they did sales, it would look really bad. Oh, well, it depends on what we sell, I guess, right? If it's something that we can deliver immediately, I think that's fine, or that we can deliver relatively soon. For example, the founder's keys, those are kind of ready to go, but I don't want to release something where we don't understand fully the tokenomics or the effects on the tokenomics that will have. And yeah.
And one question, even one that I want to see in game myself. Any chance to have like skins in the game, like weapon skins or different skins for the heroes or something like that?
I think that's possible. Having skins should be relatively easy to do, and could be interesting. Why don't we ask when you do like the survey for players if they have any interest in getting skins for anything in the game?
Yeah, that's good. That's good. I'm gonna write down here to later collect there.
Okay, so I think that we're getting close to the hour. I see Will Bake saying, "How about that one-eyed cat NFT that follows you around and kills any wolves?" I would love that. Like my one-eyed cat, she weighs like 3 kilograms, and she doesn't know she's missing one eye, so she thinks like she's hot shit, and basically attacks me like a whole, a grown man, like I'm nothing. So she would probably go for a wolf. She wouldn't doubt it. Let's see, skins for bases. That's good to know. And okay, so since we're getting close to the time, I don't know if anybody in the team wants to say anything. Solar Mystic, Bigo Guts, Social Block, Chiribak, Isma Ramsa.
I would like to say thank you to everyone who joined today to this live stream. And I would like to say that we will try to have a streamlined communication with all the community. So stay tuned, and we will deliver a very good game.
Awesome. Thank you, Solar Mystic. Anyone else? If not, I think we have time for the last question.
And just to the community quickly that I already have a form there in the announcement channel open for any question that you want to send to the team. I posted, I think, yesterday or a couple of days ago, and I'm gonna add another one later just for feedbacks and suggestions. And of course, gonna sprinkle a few questions there so we can even see like different styles of player and etc. So stay tuned.
Got it. And I see a question from Off-Grid Rancher. When are you going to fix moving your base after reaching level 100? so it doesn't go back to level 99. So those kind of bugs, we have a backlog, I think, of bugs. We need to check them out. I remember that we are trying to figure out what's coming next. So I'm not sure how we're gonna fit in the bug fixing in between. I'm hoping that we can for some of the most egregious stuff. But yeah, I see a ton of comments regarding land ownership. Let's see what else. How often are we going to have the AMAs? We'll figure it out. I'm guessing that once a month or something like that. Bented, I just wanted to say thank you to Musashi and the team and to the community. It was great. It was a great town hall get together. Thank you, man. Please have regular updates. Well, we have Doug Sunny in Discord with you guys all the time, and we'll probably have some of the leads, especially Ramsa or Vigo Guys for Solar Mystic, checking out what you guys are commenting and saying, requesting and stuff like that. But we definitely want to tell you guys what's going on with the project. That's the whole point. Just like we do with Common Ground. Common Ground is once a week because that game is fully live. Like we have events every week. And we usually tell players what's coming immediately next week because there's always something happening. But this game still requires some work before we're at that stage. I'm hoping that once we're at that stage, we can have weekly check-ins. But that's gonna take some time. So yeah, well, that's the team. I'm hoping that you guys like what you hear. These are seasoned professionals. I handpicked them, so I'm pretty sure they'll do a great job. And with that, thank you guys, and I'll see you next time. Thank you, Daxani. Thank you, everybody on stage, and thank you, Paul.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, everyone.